Hey guys, this is Scott Leroy Marketing, coming in for their weekly update. And today's tip is going to be on the KDB Command platform as normal. All right, but it's going to be on the new sites and how consumers can actually utilize it and what that'll look like for you on your back end. All right, so I'm logged into my site on here. Obviously, I've just got the general site. I've got everything up and running, and I went ahead and signed in as myself on here. Now, if I go back over, let me X out of this. If I go back over to my back end of Command, all right, so obviously to access where we want to see all the information for that contact, we'd want to go to the contact section. All right, so under the contact section, then we can view all of our different contacts on here. So I'm going to pull up myself, all right, and this is the one I was utilizing as a little test on here. All right, and once I pull that up, I can actually view over here inside the timeline, all right, what they've actually viewed on here. So I can literally click on the listing once they view on it. All right, and I can even see their saved searches too. All right, so with that being said on here, if they come back over to my site, so they're already signed in, now we can actually see at the top right, we've got our normal menu. All right, and then in addition to that, we have their saved searches. All right, so they can actually come on here, click on save searches. They can view any saved searches they've set up. All right, they can click on view all if they want to come through here and edit any of them. All right, or they can actually just go through and actually search on here too. All right, so if I search, maybe I'm going to search just Orlando in general. All right, so I'm going to make a very general one on here. Maybe they're doing, zip codes. Maybe they want to do, obviously neighborhoods. All right, but I'm just going to make a general one to make it simple. All right, I've got my price range on here. I can change this out if I want to. Maybe I want to make it 300,000 all the way up to 1,000,000. I wish. All right, then of course I can say how many beds I want. So 3+ beds. Property type, I only want homes. For sale on here, I want to make sure they're only, pending or active or new construction. And then for baths, I want to do at least 2+. All right, and then of course there are other items on here too. So right now, based on where I'm searching, just in kind of this very broad option of Orlando, Florida, all right, these are all the different properties that are currently available. Now then they can actually go through, they can draw on here if they want to draw the area they're looking in. All right, they can do obviously a map option. All right, so once we click on that, here's the default or the satellite view. All right, or they can click on this save button at the top left. Or sorry, top right, my apologies. All right, so once they click on save, they can actually save this. All right, so a new save search. I'm going to put inside Orlando, Florida. I'm going to say 300K plus. I'm going to save this search. All right, so as you can see, Orlando, 300K plus. All right, your saved search has been saved. All right, so now if they ever come back here under save searches, they can actually view these immediately. All right, so that'll make it a little bit easier for them. But then if we come back over to our back end on here, I'm going to refresh this real quick. All right, if we notice our saved searches up here are now at 2. All right, so now I can see 2 on here, and it's created by the consumer. Here's the name. All right, here's the price range, the beds on here. So we can't really go through and update anything quite yet because they created this. All right, but we can also go through and create this form too. So if we want to create our own little saved search on here, we can do the exact same thing. All right, so in this case, I can allow for the location. I can add inside the title. And then I can update all this information on here too. All right, so completely up to you if you want to add that in for them as well. All right, but then they also have the option of viewing the collections too, so where they can basically go through and save properties, not searches, but just specific properties. So if I like this one, for instance, this little property on here, it's pretty cool looking. All right, so if I click on this listing, all right, so now it's pulled up the listing for me to actually view on here. All right, then I can click the heart button to save this. All right, and if I click on that, it's going to ask me which collection do I want to add it into. All right, and they can make multiple collections. So at the end of the day, these are basically like multiple folders, or if you ever utilize Pinterest, it's kind of like multiple pin boards at the end of the day. All right, so maybe they want to make different, collections of areas they want to live in, like maybe by zip codes, by neighborhoods, or in this case, by cities or anything like that. All right, they can also click on New Collection too. All right, or of course, if they click on their initials up here at the top right, they can click on Collections to add that in as well. So this has been saved. So now if I go to my collections up here at the top right, I can view my Orlando homes, and here are the 2 that I currently have available. All right, so then I can click on either of them on here, or of course I can go through and I can edit the description, the name, push notifications on home updates, obviously email notifications, and they can even add inside a collaborator. All right, so other people will be able to actually access this to add inside additional information too. So maybe if it's a husband or wife or family, partners, whatever it might be, all right, they can add inside that email so they can access this board. All right, now if I go back over once again over to my command page, I'm going to refresh this. All right, if we come back on the timeline, now we can actually see they viewed a listing. So if I click on this, It's going to take me immediately over. Here's that listing. So maybe I want to give them a call and say, hey, I saw you were on my website. You were looking at 6866 Dulce Street, number 2. All right, so that way you can ask them, hey, what did you like about that? Would you like to schedule a showing? Do you want to see this property? Whatever it might be next. All right, so that way it'll give you a little bit more information on here. So this is pretty nice. This is something that you haven't been able to do on your prior sites unless you had an upgraded package. This is now all free for you to view. So not only can you see the timeline information on here and the actual properties they're looking at, but you can also see any type of saved searches they have set up on here, so that way you can go through and get an idea as to what they're looking for. So there you go. All right, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the consumer side and what it looks like on the agent side, so that way you can utilize this technology to the best of your ability. There you go. All right, so that's going to be your KW Command tip for the day. Almost forgot that at the end. There you go.